Hello, welcome to this special bag making training. My name is Funke Oyende of First S2B Academy Limited, Lagos. Today we are making Ankara bag that is combined with some leather. So now I have the materials from Ankara bag here. We are using Ankara fabric. We are using this leather that goes along with the color on the fabric. And we are using Mako. We're still going to use this Mako along with the Ankara, and we are using this is the lining for the bag, the lining fabric, and this chipboard, which is a kind of soft cardboard that will be attaching together with the lining. And we're also going to use some hardware. We're going to use these D-rings for the handle of the bag. And the bag is going to have zip at the mouth. This long strip here is for the handle of the bag, and we're going to use this bag feet at the bottom of the bag, and we'll be inserting these holes into the handle of the bag so that it looks roundish. Now I'm going to show you how to go about the shaping of the bag. Now here I have the front and back pieces, and mind you, I've already ironed my interfacing material to the back of the fabric so that it will stabilize the fabric. And so I have my fabric here. I have a fabric of 16 inches long, and here I have 9 inches, 16 inches wide, 9.5 inches long, and then this one is just about 4 inches long and 16 inches wide also. So I'm going to sew this edge to this. I'm going to join the leather to the Ankara at this point so that it will now have a new length by the time I bring them together. So this Ankara is just going to be at the bottom part of the bag, and I will also, after joining, I will also shape the top of the bag. I will give it a kind of shape. It's not going to be like four corner as it is looking now. So for the first thing I will do now, I'm going to join this leather to the bottom of the front and the back pieces before we continue. Now I'm going to stitch the leather to the bottom of the bag. So these are the right sides, they face each other, and I'm going to stitch with about 1/4 inch allowance. So now, after that first stitching, I'm going to open it out and stitch again on top of the leather. But always remember to use your machine oil to make movement easy and smooth. So I'll stitch on top of the leather again so that it will be able to lie flat. By the time I stitch it, so everything will now look flat. Okay. So now we are going to shape. Okay. Now I've joined the leather to the body of the bag. So now this is front piece, back piece. I want to now shape the top of the bag, so I'm going to fold it in two like this, and with my pen I will draw this kind of a curved curved line, or like an arc at the top right hand corner, and then I'll cut it out with my scissors and open. So by the time I open out, so this is what I now have. If I want to make it like, I want to make it more curved, a little bit more. I want to deepen the curve a little bit more. Okay, I'm now satisfied. I like the way it's looking now. So I will transfer this to the other side, to the back piece, and shape that also. So I have my front and back shaped. So the next thing I'll do now, I'm going to sew my handle and attach it to the front and the back pieces. This is the leather pieces I will use from the handle. I have 30 inches long and 3 inches wide. That is the measurement I'm using. You may vary it as it suits you. So I'm going to get to the machine now, and I'll be stitching the handle. This is what I'll do. I'll fold both ends to the middle, and then I'll now still place them on each other like this. But I'm going to leave some allowance. I'm not going to start stitching from the top. I'll start stitching from somewhere here down to somewhere here with the same allowance I left here at the end here. So let's get to the sewing machine now. So I'm sewing my handle now. I left 4 inches down there at the beginning. Okay, so I have my 4 inches allowance remaining at the end here. So I would repeat the same for the second handle. So this is the second handle now. You fold both ends to the middle, and then you fold them on top of each other, and measure your 4 inches allowance before you start stitching. Now we have sewn the handle to that point. To continue now, I'm going to now shape. I'll cut a little bit out of the ends of the handle on both sides, and I will fold it up. Okay, so I'll fold it like this, so that the tip will be as small as possible. Then I will insert my ring, the D-ring, and turn it up. I'm going to push this end into the hole there, and then I'm going to use my rivets to pin them together so that it will not lose. So I have my rivet here. I'll punch a hole, my little screwdriver, insert the long part of the rivet inside, and then I put the flat part outside. Then I'm going to use my hammer or plier and press this in place so it becomes flat. So I'm going to do the same to this other end, but before I do that, I need to insert my hose so that the handle will be cylindrical. So I'll insert the hose, but you see the hose will just be from this point to this point. So when I measured it, I got about 22 inches. So my hose is just about 22 inches long, and I'll insert it. Now that I've inserted the hose inside the handle, I can now close the second end. So I close the second end, and I'm going to use my rivets once again to pin them together. So we have our handle in place. Remember to use your plier or hammer to flatten the rivets together. So at this point, I'm going to with this ring here, that tells you that there is going to be another material that we're going to put here to sew to the body of the bag. So that's why I have these pieces here. You could cut any shape you want. So there are 8 in number, and I'm going to use 2 together at each point. But before I use them, I'm going to put my glue on both pieces and glue them together so that they stick together well, and then I will insert them in to the ring, and we're going to be sewing them to the body of the bag later on. But for now, let me close up and flatten the rivet tops, and I'll glue all these pieces together and we'll be back. So here I'm putting them together after applying glue. Now it's time to sew the handle of the bag to the body of the bag. So we're going to start now. I will insert this here, and I'm going to sew it to one part of the bag. You have to use your tape rule to measure, and so that you have a uniform point where your where the pieces will be attached all around. So you may need to take your measurement from here to here, and so that you have a uniform point in all the 4 places where you are going to attach. So I've gone round, and if you like, you can still use your rivets to pin them down, and it will also serve, it will still look decorative. So you can still use your rivet to pin the pieces together after sewing, or you leave it at sewing only. So I'm going to do the same for the remaining 3 points. Now I've sewn my handles to the back and front pieces. The next stage now, I'm going to apply glue on my mako. I've also cut my mako and the lining fabric. So I'm going to attach my mako. I'm going to apply glue here and here, and then I'm going to stick them together. But I cut the mako a little bit less around, so that by the time I'm stitching, the marker will be out of the way of the needle. So I'm going to apply my glue and bring them together. So as I've applied glue to my marker and the back side of my front and back pieces, as soon as I'll leave them for some minutes to cure for about 10-15 minutes for the glue to dry up, then I'll be piecing them together. And you can see that my marker is smaller than the back and front pieces. I already explained that is so that the marker will be out of the way when I'm sewing, to reduce the bulk that my needle will have to handle. It's time to bring my lining and chipboard together. So I'm going to apply glue to the back side of my chipboard, and I'll be gluing it to the lining fabric. Now it's time to sew the inner pocket to one of the sides of the lining. So I'll go and do that on the machine now. Now it's time to sew my zipper to the bag, the front and back pieces. So but the zip is just going to be from where the Ankara ends here to this point. From this point down is going to be covered with leather, so that your bag does not completely open. Maybe if you open it, it does not completely open and pour out. So the zip will stop here. So I'm going to now attach another small leather. So my measurement from here to the other end is just about 33 inches. So now that will be for the zip. So this other aspect will be covered by leather. So that's why I have these leather pieces. I'm going to sew it to the end of my zip before sewing the zipper to the body of the bag. So I'll still sew it again one more time so that it lies flat outside. Okay, so I'm going to sew the zip now to the body of the bag, and I'll make sure I align the zip with where the fabric ends here, so the rest will be leather. And it should be right sides facing. Okay, so now I'm going to sew give me the lining, one of the lining. Let me see. To sew the lining too, because there's no lining on it yet. So I'm going to now, after sewing the zip around it, I'm going to sew the lining. So I put it right sides together, and I want to, like, I've marked the middle of my lining, which is where I've notched. So I will center it with the lining of this and start stitching. So I'll stitch around, and I'll do the same for the other side by the time I'm through. So now I've sewn the lining round, so now I'm going to turn it right side out. I've turned it right side out, so this is one side now, and I'm going to sew the other side too to it. So now I open out the zip so it will be easier for me, and now I take the other side. There's no lining on the other side yet, so right side facing, I will now sew the zip to this other side round. I've sewn the zipper to the other side. Now I want to apply I want to sew the lining also to it. So once again, I'm going to tally the middle point of the top of the lining to the middle of the other side of the bag, right side facing. Then I will sew around once again. I've sewn the lining to the other side, so now I'm going to turn it right side out. Now I have turned it to the other side, and we now have to add the base. It doesn't have a base yet, so I will measure what we have around and then use that to cut the base. I've cut the base, just leather. I'm using pure leather for the base with marco and then lining, and I'm sewing around before I'm going to attach it. I want to attach my back feet to the bottom of the bag before I sew it to the body of the bag. So here is my back feet. I just make holes at 4 points that I've already marked, and then I insert my back feet. Also, I've even done this before putting the lining. I have attached all the back feet, and I have to cover it with another lining because it's not supposed to be showing inside. So now I'm going to stitch and join the base to the body of the bag. So I'm going to turn this one to the wrong side to piece them together. It's time to sew the bottom of the bag to the body of the bag. The bottom of the bag measures the same perimeter as that of the body of the bag. So I've joined the bottom to the bag, so I will now use my taping sew around the raw edges to finish off. It's time now to turn it right side out. Here I've turned it right side out, and my bag is now completed. I hope you enjoy the training. You can have like another matching purse to go along with it, like this. So thank you very much. God bless you. Funke Oyende of First S2B Academy Limited, signing off.